Yo, it's your boy Rico Slade. I'm with the kid Nico. Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. And we back again to do it again, like we do it the first time. What's up, Nico? What's good with you, man?
Yeah, we are, man. Excited to be back on the podcast. How you been? How you doing?
Hey, I'm here, man. I'm in it to win it every day, all day. And I can't really do this thing
Exactly.
without you. So we are here. All right, let's rock it. Today's subject, since both you and I are graduates, let's talk about the value of all the time that we put in. Was it worth it? Was the undergrad degree, I'm not gonna
Well,
call the name of the school, but was it worth it? Was it worth it? You want to lead off, or you want to let me go ahead and start?
I can start with a couple things.
All right, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
I feel like there's not an absolute answer to it. In my personal case, it would be a hell no, no. However, for a very small amount of people,
Very
so
small.
contrary to popular belief, for a very small amount of people, yes, it is worth it, 100% worth it. Actually, the only way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just feel like the whole system of college was created at a time where back then it was the best. But now with college prices, like college tuition, as well as the new states of the economy, as well as the internet and how fast the world is changing, college has had its time already, but somehow it still made it to this era now. And for the vast majority of people, I just feel like they're wasting a lot of time and money. In my personal case, I think it was great for me to go to college, so I know that it doesn't work, or that it's not,
Oh,
that you
man.
don't get out of it what you think you can. Like, I
Mm.
just feel like people have a huge overestimation of what they can get out of college.
Okay, that's
What
fair.
about you? What you think?
All right, so like you said, college is a mixed bag when it comes to the traditional sense of college. Now, my mom's a teacher. My dad was a blue collar worker, construction man. I got my sister; she's in education right now. And when it comes to college, when I went to college, because what we're both psychology degrees, right? Correct?
Yeah, we both have BAs in psychologists,
Yeah.
bachelor
So
degrees.
so yeah. So what I find in regards to college is if you're a child of the 80s and the 90s up until now, college was the next step. It was the intellectual validation of your parents' hard work because they put their hands against the grindstone and either, worked really hard or came to America for a better life. And now college allows you to be the next step in the evolution for the family. Now, what I will say is this, and there's a lot of studies and a lot of people speak on this. College itself is a great experience. I think for most people, it's a way to network, meet other people, other walks of life, get diversified. In a lot of cases, you might meet your spouse. You meet higher ups. You can see if you're going to go for your graduate degrees, travel, the whole nine. You get a lot of experience. Pledge, all of that. But I think for a lot of occupations, college is only going to expose you to the idea of certain things, whereas some degrees require college. Your medical degrees, the engineering degrees, they expose you to practical methodology, things you have to know to be able to do certain jobs. You're not going to be able to come into a hospital or a doctor's office or a veterinary hospital and do the job without going through the practical training. So college, residency and all those occupations, definitely I understand. But college doesn't do anything for skill sets. A lot of college in the practical sense, academics, they don't teach you how to do most things. They don't teach you anything about, money. They don't teach you anything about managing your life, managing your emotions. They don't teach you anything about courtship. They don't teach you anything about taxes. They don't teach you anything about how to build or how to fix or repair. They don't teach you any of a lot of the practical things, how to conduct and behave yourself in a workplace and how to move up. You know, they don't prepare you for that. I think really a college prepares you to be an employee. It conditions you to work for someone else. And we've seen the stories of the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates, who they maybe touched college, but they didn't finish college. They dropped out. We have so many stories of those who touched college, didn't even go to college, but they're super successful because they understood the system. They understood what was the network, and they got with the right people to make money and make their mark in the world. They didn't use college because college a lot of times is an academic validator for a lot of people. I read a lot of books in college. You know, I met some cool people, got my God family right now, but college for me, for the degree that I have, I don't even use it. A lot of people don't even use it, but it's a coming of rite and passage for certain jobs where you need to have a BA, or you need to have an MA, or you need to have this, or you need to have that as a credentialing. But I just look at it as college. Was it worth it? Well, I had grant money, so I didn't really spend really any of my own money. And for me, it just kind of was like a trade school. Maybe if I would have went to the military, I would have really gotten something out of those trainings to look back on. But I look at college as like, it was just a conditioned thing, bless you, for us to do.
Thank you.
And I think it's a mill. It's a mill to create employees. And now the game is changing. You're learning more on YouTube. You're learning more on TikTok and Instagram. People are creating content. There's DIYs out here. There's so much people teaching you new things. There's a lot of noise out here and whatnot. You got to sift through it. But college is a lot of that, just in a bunch of textbooks that come out with a new edition, $150 book every year, and professors and stuff that are literally like typecast to that, who don't really have any practical use outside of the academic realm. So, it is what it is, man. But that's how I looked at college as far as like the value. Let me ask you this though. We do know that college for some occupations is absolutely required. Man, what do you think about those who literally are going to college in this current era with student loans being what they are, seeking the education, knowing that the education doesn't truly entitle them or guarantee them anything, going into with that full knowledge? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a very unwise financial decision to be doing that. The interest rates are absolutely insane, and tuition is through the roof. And I know to the the younger kids trying to go to college and thinking about it, to them that's the norm, and to them that's normal. Which I mean, technically is right. Or back in our when we went to college and we were getting our degrees, it was normal. But it's normal, but it's not really justified. You're paying too much for something that's not even guaranteed. Like you will not become a millionaire just by getting your degree. You're not gonna get a job that will make you a millionaire by just going to college. So
yeah,
maybe you're in debt. I know a cousin. Her debt was 300,000, and her but she's good with money, so she'll pay it off before she's 40.
Yeah. So she's gonna bankroll someone else at interest and see where I guess it depends on what's the trade-off for her.
Yeah, but I mean, she's gonna be a dentist, so she pretty much had to get her MD and the whole residence and the whole 9 yards. So I mean, I get it. If you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an engineer, I'd rather you went to college.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's just when you hear a lot of people saying, I don't use my degree, I don't use my degree, I don't use my degree, number one, and number two, the way that things are taught, like it's just about memorizing stuff. Like these kids do not remember what they had on the test a week after the test. It's just the truth. It's just nobody likes to say it. It's just like in high school. It's the exact same thing. It's just that the topics are, I guess, a little more complex. But I know that, I mean, not by personal experience, but when you get to grad school, that's the real deal. Maybe that's when we're talking about learning and doing stuff and all of that. But anything under a license or a master's degree is like, it's not worth it to me. I'm okay because I got financial aid and I even got money left over. And from the things which is ironic now that I think about it, is from what I learned on YouTube, just on YouTube, the money left over from my financial aid made me way more money than I would have made just from what I learned in college. Right. Whether it's just experience or maybe getting a job from that degree, it's just it's just crazy. So the amount of money you're paying, and that's the only type of debt that you can do bankruptcy on. It's just a very, I feel like you're investing $1 and you're getting 2 cents out for the vast majority of people out there going to college. I just feel like it's a very silly decision, and it's also very close-minded.
Oh, okay.
There's way more things you can do.
Okay, fair enough. I'll say this in regards to college, because now the idea of it is a taboo, because the system around it is basically, no, go to college. You don't want to go out here and just start working, because your entry level, especially right now, is really tough. College is going to delay you, a couple of years and not working. And a lot of us worked while we were in college. It's going to delay you, and you're going to get a degree that's going to give you access. So it's not so much as learning. College is supposed to grant you access. And you mentioned high school. I think about, especially coming from a family with academics, initially in public school, you're actually learning something. Middle school, you're learning social interaction more so, at a higher level. You start becoming, in your teens, you start, maturing and whatnot, going through adolescence. And in high school, you start really kind of unbeknownst to start becoming into your adulthood. So you're working, driving, and things of that nature. And now you're about to step out into the world and start really managing yourself and seeing if you can manage in college. I do see the correlation between, say, the quality of education at a lower level and a higher level, because at a lower level, poor education at elementary school breeds closed-mindedness, it breeds easy confirmation bias. It breeds the lack of curiosity in learning and knowing. And it takes an individual to really decide if they really want to be knowledgeable and really want to be, they really want to have at least academic knowledge and not just, practical knowledge and how life works. But I see that those who are indulging in higher level education, those who are taught, I would say on a kingcraft level, those who are taught subjects and understand the value of education, of being taught, it's not about college. It's about learning. It's about knowing. It's about understanding practical applications, understanding, hey, this is how you can practically build something, navigate. This is how you understand what's going to look like something in the world. Critical thinking skills, training you how to understand critical thinking skills, how to move as a man in the world, how to move as a woman in the world, how to understand money, what to prioritize. High school doesn't teach you that. College teaches you, and high school teaches you, you're doing this for an occupation. You're doing this to work for someone. Now, I guess the most valuable thing is, like, it can poise you to network with people who are on the way up, who are coming from an affluent position. Maybe if you play sports, there's that angle. You can be around those who you can network with and you can build with, to give you access to a hierarchy of higher access. But it's not very accurate for most people, but like I said, that's why people might pledge and do those type of things. I used to work with a lawyer and her family was from Cuba. And I think her mother and father, because they're coming from a tough country, coming here for freedom in America, super patriotic, they said that you could go to college. She told me, her father, you can go to college for whatever you want. But what he was going to pay for was a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, and something else, or something else that was going to basically net you enough income to where you would be easily comfortable. But he said he wasn't paying for anything else. So no art degrees, no dancing, no going to school for dance, none of that, no entertainment, none of the intermediary things, none of the humanities, none of those lowbrow in what they consider lowbrow occupations, because why spend all this money to have a low range a low wage occupation to can't even pay off the loan to do a job that's stressful. Every job is going to have a stress. You might as well make a good amount of money. It's not for everybody. We don't teach each other we should do stuff fulfilling because we have jobs that we need to do out here. College is not telling you to work where you want to work. College is say, hey, you can spend 4 years being interested in something, but when you come out of here, you got to go really work. So it depends on what you really want to do with your life. So I don't know, man. College for me, man. Like I said, it's taboo to speak against it. But like you said, you can go on YouTube and IG and TikTok and mentorships, and you could become part of entrepreneurial circles, and you can glean exactly what you need. Like you got a group that you go for Bitcoin, right? So a couple of years ago, there was no Bitcoin financial classes. There was no classes that were going to tell you about the wonders of Bitcoin. There was no undergrad classes that were going to tell you about the marvel and wonder of investing, of how to really do it and really get in there and be successful. It could give you the surface level understanding of how the markets work and whatnot, but it wasn't going to give you the tools to really be successful. But yet you're going to be paying a tuition every year to get access to information that's really not going to be really, you're basically paying access to go to the library. That's what you're really paying to go to the library that's at the school. When you really need someone, or you need a vein to really help you on the path of success. And outside of the college thing, I look at those from affluent families, successful individuals who have learned the way that system works, who have learned certain industries, or even in the military. They can teach you specifically how to be successful following certain protocols and procedures, and you giving you certain bits of information as it evolves with the coming markets and how things transition and move forward. College is not moving forward at the same speed that society is changing. It's an archaic space that basically say, hey, come here, we'll give you a piece of paper, and jobs will use it to give you access. How many people you got that's super overqualified for an underqualifying job? So, yeah, man, college, we're in a digital age. I think college is over, like you said, it's overdrawn. It shouldn't be expensive. Actually, college should be free. We really should have the best people in the country. We're America. We literally should have the best educational system, the best internet. There should be no poor schools. There should be no poor educations. There really should be little to no illiteracy in America. College is not the way to solve that. It's starting at the base. It should start at the home. We got all these great TV shows for kids about entertaining them and to learn, but you naturally learning is inclined to as human beings. We're inquisitive. We're curiously by nature, and we're easily appeased with food and things that we find pleasurable. If you attach that to learning, especially consequences, punishments, and gratification and rewards, we do well. I just don't think college is the move at this point. I just really don't think college is the move.
No, not at all. And in my opinion too, it's like it's just in whatever way you see it. Like to me, it's just BS. Like it might sound harsh, but like I said, actually a couple of years ago when I used to post on Twitter trying to get followers, I was like, the whole idea of college, like you're recommending that to a young adult is like super arrogant, and I'm not arrogant, ignorant and close-minded. Mm-hmm. Like there's literally 10-year-olds making $30 million a year on YouTube for posting little reviews of like toys. And you want to go to college, get 150,000 in there to make 70 a year. If you're lucky to get the job, for you to even make 100,000, you need to move up. But everybody knows how to do their job. If you notice, at least the jobs I know of, the people who are up top, they're not the most savvy on the actual position, but they're up top. I mean, besides the few bad apples, because they know how to talk to people, they know how to
leadership, network,
delegate the leadership. They know all of these things. They're not the experts. What do? They come to you because you're the one who does the work every single day. So it's just the whole thing. I think it's a huge waste of time. When kids go into it, let's be honest, they're just thinking about the parties and thinking about the this and thinking about the that. Because a lot of them don't. I mean, it was in our case.
Yeah,
but
it's the experience. They
don't even have a job. like all they're doing is going to class, which, as I already discussed, undergrad is very easy. And then, like, what do you do? Like, you literally forgot everything a week after the test. And then what happens when you move into the whatever, from the 300 class to the 400 class? You do a review on the other class because they know everyone forgot the
Yeah.
whole topic. So it's just,
You start from
there's
scratch.
there's no point. Is number one, and number two is way. This is how I think it's messed up. Actually, it's so unfair for you to play such a big decision, like time wise, emotionally, like, because a lot of people, like, they move out and all that, and financially, to put on a, what, 18, 20 years old, like, you can't even drink, bro, you can't even vote, but they're pressuring you to make this huge decision, and if you say yes, you sign the papers, hey, you gotta pay this for the rest of your life, and you can't even declare bankruptcy on it, on an 18-year-old, on
Yeah.
an 18-year-old. Imagine, like, I'm 24. I feel like I'm way more mature than 18, but I got a very long way to go. I wouldn't want to make that decision now. Imagine at 18.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think,
just,
but like you said, I think you understand, regardless of the age, that the investment, it's a gamble to go to college. It's a lot of time, a lot of work. You're not getting paid to go to college, but you're still required to do all the work. You still might have to support your life, and you take out a loan that you got to pay somebody back for the hope, the gamble that you can apply that degree, or maybe to some of the stuff that you learned, especially depending on the occupation you seek, to use some of that stuff to make a wage, earning, or a living. And it's like, I mean, when we had this conversation a long time ago, Nico, and I was like, in psychology, unless you're really going for a doctorate, if you stay in raw psychology, you're not really going to make a lot of money unless you go into, get your doctorate. You're writing books, you're writing reports, you go either clinical, or you're going therapeutic, or you use that credentialing to do like something like this, because now this is the vein of, you know of opinion space, and podcasting, and you can get an opinion out there, and people can say, I can relate and resonate with that, and that can be monetized. Our gathering, our congregational mindset, that can be monetized, where in times you couldn't do that before. Like right now, like, if someone goes to school and college for, a basic degree, like, I guess, do they even have like a general arts degree, or just a basic, like,
yeah, the first 2 years, right? The associates.
yeah. So say you get that, right, or say you get, like, you graduate with a BA, and not math. Let's say English. That's funny. You graduate with a BA in English, right? And you graduate a BA in English, but you don't become a teacher. You don't do anything with writing. You're not an editor. You're not in journalism. You're not in any of those things. You can still go and be like an insurance. This is so hit close to home. You can work in insurance. You can make good money, but you went to school. You spent all that time. At 18, when in college, you could have did the same thing. You could have studied directly, got your certification, and went into insurance, and been making that money 4 or 5 years. When I think about it, in this situation, almost 15 years earlier. So it's kind of one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things where there's certifications, there's practical training, there's so many different avenues to make this, to where investing, that it's just like, it's better to know. But it is taboo, man. It is a taboo statement, because we, in our country, we've been conditioned, because there's so many more workers than there are investors and elites that say, hey, the safe bet is to go to college. Now it's shifting to be, the safe bet is to invest. The safe bet is to get as much money out the gate. College ain't the move. Find a way to be entrepreneurial. Get your own. Have ownership. Maximize your leverage in regards to your earning power, because now you won't be able to earn as much once you hit your 40s and your 50s. That's where the stride is. But you can't just party in your 20s and 30s and then say, I'm gonna really start working hard at 40s, with 50 and 60, especially in this current space, with our economies, it's just not going to happen, man. So we don't have that baby boomer leverage that we had before. We're in a situation to where like that gap between the rich and the poor, there's really no middle ground anymore. So we just gotta live and do it different.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no middle ground anymore. And don't forget, the squeezing a whole bunch of money out of 18-year-old naive kids who want to make mommy and daddy proud. But hey, what do I know? What do you guys think? Do you go to college? Was it worth it? Was it not worth it? Are you exercising your degree? Are you upset of all those student loans, which you should be? That's why we didn't want to take them. Leave your comments down below. Like, subscribe, share with all your friends. And thank you very much for watching.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
night.
All
Bye,
right,
Rico.
Nico. Yes,
Take it
sir.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.